I love it. You're a problem solver. You just figured it out.
Yeah.
And on we go.
And on we go. The show must go on.
The show must go on, and it will. So, yeah, you were saying that there really hasn't been a rivalry that's captured the nation quite like Celtics LA in the 80s.
Yeah, and this is something that particularly is important to me because you had two guys who played basketball in college. And that's where the rivalry started.
Right. Right.
Then they go to the pros. One guy goes to this historic championship place, and the other guy goes to bright lights in big city. One is black, one is white, and they both are excellent basketball players. And it was just, it was...
And their personalities, right? Like,
yeah.
One is like a super social glad-hander and is full of love, and he's just having a great time. And the other one is just mean and isolated and intense and full of anger. So good.
It was. It really was good. All of the rivalries. Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was the best. I'll tell you, every time I watch the highlight reel of Larry Bird doing the free throws or whatever, just trash talking, watch this, boom, and he'd do it. Like, that's incredible. It's so powerful.
And he's underrated as a trash talker.
Correct. Oh, he's the ultimate trash talker. I mean, to be able to back it up time and again is insane.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not underrated as a basketball player because he's one of the best.
Yeah.
But as a trash talker, they don't put him up there with the best. Well, the players do.
Yeah. Yeah. Those who knew him.
Yes. The non-players don't.
Yeah.
So that must have been pretty good for you.
Yeah, so it was good. Why did we start talking about that? What question was I answering?
Because I was asking you about the rivalry. And I wanted to highlight that.
Oh, okay. But so I grew up, there, like whatever, in Larry Birdville in the 80s. And I like went, and my whole family, they're all tradespeople, My brother is an arborist. So like, yeah, it's cool. So like, we're into the wood, we're into trees, we're into wood, we're into all that.
I want to pause you for 1 second.
Yeah.
All right. Spicy Marshall's coming on here that makes spices. Organically, Bridget, what's up? I'm in my van because my Wi-Fi went out in my shop. So I came out to make sure we got the job done.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you had to explain that. Yeah. Why are you on the road? So here I am growing up like that, all the tradespeople, like I didn't know what I was going to do for work, like we were just shanty Irish. We're just poor people trying to make it through the day. There wasn't any talk of what will you do? What do you want to be? We are going to college. Nobody went to college. It just wasn't the thing, And I didn't want to be like a painter, I just looked around and it was so depressing, technically, they kind of passed me along in high school, but I kind of walked out before. I was bored, My parents didn't want to send me to the public school, so they found this loophole in the district where they sent me to Bristol County Agricultural High School in Dighton, Mass., which was one of 2 farm schools in the nation. It was a VOTEC. So you go to your academics in the morning, and then in the afternoon, you would go to whatever your major was. And I majored in landscaping because all the boys were cute. And, but so it was fun going to a VOTEC, like we grew all our own food. It was a huge working farm in a river valley. We'd go to lunch every day and have, whole milk and all the vegetables and fruit and meat, everything was, you know, raised right there. So it was kind of cool to be in that kind of an environment. And it was, you know, very tradesperson-y, but I didn't want to do that. I just really didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was a waitress for a while, and I realized, like, this is not going to work. You know, I'm going to be a waitress forever. I have no skills. I have no degree. I don't know what I want to do. I have no direction. So I decided I just have to get out of Dodge. Like, I got to just blow out of this town. I need like a fresh start. I got to go somewhere else. And I had heard from somebody who was blowing through town at some party or whatever that college in California was free. And so I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll go there. You know, it's free. I take that free. I can afford that. So I got a roommate through a roommate service. Like, I wrote away to a roommate service and paid $50 and talked to a few people and ended up connecting with a guy, nicest guy in the world, still a dear friend, from Louisiana originally, from Pass Christian. And he's like, yeah, I'm looking for a roommate. Why don't you come on out? You know, it's $600 a month. Well, Jesus, holy God, $600 a month. It's a lot of money back then, just 25 years ago. I called him back. I said, you know what? I'd love to do that. But to be honest with you, I just don't know if I can afford that. He said, you know, I really respect what you're trying to do. So you just come on out. What can you afford? I said, $450. He goes, deal. You pay me $450 and you take the trash out every single week. I hate taking the trash out. I said, okay, well, that sounds like a deal. So sure enough, I drove cross country with just I gave like away everything I had. I had my little bags. I came out to California. Long story short, I moved in. Everything was great. I went to college, and I found that I loved it, and I just kept going, and went on and, you know, went to the community college where now I'm a teacher. Transferred to UCLA. Went and got a master's at Northern Arizona in Flagstaff, and then just started working as a reporter. I majored in journalism, and then of course we all know what happened to newspapers, and so but before all that collapsed, you know, they asked me to come back and teach a news writing class on Wednesday night. You know, can you teach a night class for us? Sure. And then I eventually got a full-time job there, and that's been super great. I really loved it, but teaching is a tough job. It's a very demanding job. And so I found myself looking for activities that were all encompassing, where I could create something, you know, having grown up in a family who all work in the trades, you know, doing with your hands was always something that was a big part of my life. And I didn't have that with all the academic work. It was sitting on a desk. You know, a lot of public speaking and stuff like that, but I wasn't doing or making. So, yeah, so I started playing golf. That helped a lot. I started doing yoga. That helped a lot. My husband and I bought a triple wide trailer, if my friends could see me now, here in California, because it's the only damn thing you can afford out here anymore. And, you know, we're lifelong renters.
So not a double wide, you got a triple wide?
It's 3, baby. I got 3 license plates. That's right.
Killing it.
I know. So we got this trailer, you know, and we're like school teachers. Like, we don't have any money, but we had managed to save up over years, and we redid the kitchen, you know, which was something I never thought I would be a person who owned a home, A, B, could now like do the kitchen. So we redid this kitchen, and I just remember when we first got the kitchen done, like standing in the middle of the kitchen going, this is ridiculous. This is so nice. I didn't want to touch anything because I didn't want to get it dirty or scratch it, you know. They won't give me my security deposit back. But, you know, no, I get to like do whatever I want with it because it's mine. So I saw this book, Tartine by Chad Robertson, who's like this superstar bread baker, you know, very popular, super, everybody knows him. And this book was very popular, and everybody knows it. And I saw the cover of it one day, I don't know, like on Amazon or something. And I thought, oh my God, like that is amazing. I need to learn how to do that. You know, I need to learn how to make that bread. And hang on, I'll show it to you. There it is. I wanted to make that. So I bought the book and I started on chapter 1. I'm still on chapter 1 because bread is tough. But I ended up making, you know, getting better, making bread like that. And then 6 years later, my husband, a lot of my friends who I would bake for, because I became obsessed with baking, was baking all the time. My freezers were all full of bread. I was giving bread away. Like I needed to do something with this obsession. And so they all said, you know, you ought to start selling this. And then enter, you know, like I said earlier, my friend started that French restaurant. He's like, I need a local baker who can turn on a dime and make the order. Can you do that? So I did that. And
so do you only make sourdough?
Everything I make is sourdough based. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'll do some other stuff, you know, like I'll make some bagels. I'll make soft pretzels. I'll make cookies. I'll make biscuits. You know, stuff like that. But I always incorporate the sourdough in everything. And the bread I make is 99.9% sourdough bread. So everything's done slow fermentation with, you know, naturally leavened, slow fermentation, made by hand, you know, 3-day ferment, that whole scene. You know, that's what everybody's doing now, which is so great.
A buddy of mine, Ryan, at Studio NR, he just said, I'll take all of that.
Oh my God, Ryan. Ryan and Eileen.
Yeah.
I saw theirs yesterday. It was so amazing. I should say I almost cried a third time yesterday when I heard them talking about Jeff, the koi fish. That made me so sad. That was very touching, you know? That fish sounded amazing. And I'm going to meet Ryan and Eileen, and I'm going to make them bread. Yeah, I'm going to make them bread. We hooked up on Instagram, so I'm super excited. And I bought a knife. I bought an offset serrated from Fader Knives. I'm pretty excited. They're all my new friends now. Thank you, Robert.
Absolutely. That's what the community is about.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, but they're just right like next door. Like they're neighbors. They're 20 minutes from me.
So is Regine busy baking? Is she somewhere around there?
Yeah. I think she's LA. I think she's kind of up in LA. Yep.
All right. Cool. This is absolutely amazing. Now,
yeah.
Sorry, I had a little. No,
right.
Someone keeps calling me.
Oh, well, you know, you're a man who's in demand.
So, Jay Henny 66 said he's in Gardena.
Yeah, Gardena. It's right next door. We're all in the South Bay, you know.
Right.
I mean, Gardena's in the South Bay. That's a little bit that way. I'm Harbor area. You know, we're at the Port of LA. Sketchy, but beautiful. I love it here. Wouldn't leave for the world. It's Harbor area. It's a great place to be.
Okay, now let me tell you my relationship with baking bread.
Okay.
About 19 years ago, I was heavy into baking bread.
Oh.
Now, I would bake bread fresh from grains. I had a mill. I milled the flour, baked the bread.
Yeah.
And it was a lot.
It's a lot.
It was a lot.
It's a lot.
I was trying to be a purist, you know, da.
Yeah.
But in the midst of baking bread, I got into vintage mixers, Hobart mixers.
Oh.
Like the really old ones.
Yeah, beautiful machines.
And you know, and it came in cabinets with all the accessories.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I think there was this lady in Arizona whom I was in a bidding war on eBay for a cabinet and a mixer and all of the whole bit. And she goes, "What are you doing with this?" I said, "I'm baking bread." And she was a collector as well. So she was trying to see how much of a collector I was. So a couple of times her and I got into bidding wars on old machines that were on eBay. And let me tell you, the reason why certain bakers collect the old machines is because you can put the flour in there, you can bake a few loaves, and it doesn't bog down the machine because the insides are metal and not plastic.
Yeah, well, they don't make it like they used to.
Exactly. So that was it. And, you know, of course, like all things, I go extreme.
Yeah.
And in 66, you're right. They're bigger, powerful machines, and I was able to do what I wanted to do. But yeah. That was I think I did it for 6 to 9 months. It was too much work.
It's a lot of work. It's messy work. You know, were you doing like 100% whole grain, milling all your own grains? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, I do mill, but you know, usually I'm doing like 25% whole grain and the rest bread flour.
Yeah, I had no flour. Everything was all grains.
Wow. Yeah.
And whatever it is, and I had 15, 17 different types of grains.
Yeah. Wow.
Plus the rice, all the different types of rice, and then all the different types of legumes. It was a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
It was. I'm a vegetarian. It was almost like being vegan.
Right. Right.
It's too much work.
You know, I had a lady once who's vegan, and she said she wanted to buy some bread for me. I was like, great. It's great for vegans. And she heard that there was yeast and bacteria in the bread. And she's like, no, I can't eat that. Wow.
Too much work.
Yeah.
Seriously, it is. It's a lot.
It's a lot of work. It's a big commitment. You know, it's a big commitment. But, you know, but it's eminently scalable. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, like all the way. You know, like you can just play a simple little tune. It doesn't all have to be like the master jazz ensemble,
the orchestra.
You know?
Right. Okay, we got 5 minutes. Give us a tour.
Oh, great. Okay. Oops. Hang on. Sorry. Okay, so this is my baking linen, which I hung up so that the windows would not wash me out. But this is a kind of a messy, but nonetheless charming and lovely wet bar space in the living room in our 1973 mobile home. And so we took
triple Y.
Yeah, triple Y, baby. Three license plates.
Look, let me tell you, I'm from down south.
Yeah.
And double wide was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because most of my family had single trailers. And a double wide was like, what the hell is that?
We're fancy.
About a triple wide.
Yeah, we're fancy. So this is it, right? So here's San Pedro sourdough, and it's this little wet bar space. We have I've got a little sink. This is my brand new mixer, which I just made pizza dough on before you called. It's a Famag. It's Italian. It's very nice. Spiral mixer. I'm still learning how to use that sucker. It's a beast. And then we've got this is my Rofco. This is the Belgian bread oven that a lot of people are all excited about these days.
How long you been having that?
Since August. So I've had it for about a year. And what happens is these ovens, the top bows out. So I just put this on the other day. It's the first time I've ever riveted metal. I was so freaking excited. I didn't screw it up.
Look, what Spicy Marshall said, beauty mixer. Ryan says you need to make triple wide sourdough. I think that should be a loaf.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna come up with. You know what I'm really working on right now, which is kind of an LA flavor. I'm working on nixtamalized corn, lime, and cilantro, and I want to score it with those kind of real iconic Catholic, you know, Mary on the half shell, or the Immaculate Heart with all the beams on the top. So I am definitely trying to do some LA centric bread, but I need a triple wide. I need to master a triple wide loaf. That's true. It'd be cute.
Sure. Right, and look, it just made 2 cuts. It's 3. It looks like 3 pieces, right?
Yeah, that could be. It would be perfect. It could be perfect.
Yeah. I see that in your future.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna try.
So before we go, what have I missed? What's next for you?
You know, what you see is what you get. I don't feel the need to grow or expand or produce more. You know, from day one, like we talked about, the demand has been there, and I have grown to fill it, and I'm good. I'm in my lane. I'm happy there. So I'm gonna keep, you know, doing what I do.
How many loaves do you do a week?
About anywhere from 50 to 75, depending.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. On Friday, I bake for a local corner store. On Saturday, I bake for an urban organic farm. On Tuesday, I bake for my local community here. And every other Sunday, I bake for people who need it, out of Alma Backyard Farms in Compton, which is another urban organic farm.
So, okay, how much is your loaf?
$8 for the country, $10 for a special. This week I'm doing blueberry muffin bread, which I'm copying from Lyman Avenue bread, which is amazing. Got a little teeny sugar, a little teeny butter, and big, huge, fresh blueberries mixed in. It's very nice.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's good. I wish I could send you one.
I wish you could, too. You probably could. It would just be expensive.
Yeah. Well, give me your address.
You know what? Let's do that.
Okay.
We'll work that out.
I'm going to do that. Yeah.
I'm going to do that. So, is there anywhere in the world you have not traveled that you want to go?
Well, I wouldn't have said this before the last couple of years, but I think I need to go to Paris to have some real bread there. Yeah.
I've been.
Ooh.
Don't go for the bread.
Oh, no?
Get another reason.
Okay. Well, then forget it. If it's not for that, then I don't need to go there.
Right. Right. Don't even trouble yourself with that.
Yeah. You know, I feel like Southern California is paradise. I really do. I think it's a beautiful place. I'm so happy here. I just, you know, I don't have the travel bug much anymore. I'd like to go on a great bread tour, maybe a European bread tour. That might be nice. You know, bread and golf.
Copper John wants to know French bread. Do you do French bread? Oh, he wants to go to Paris for French bread.
Well, I would want to go to Paris for French bread. I can make a baguette for you. You know, it's not, the shaping isn't quite what it should be, but I can whip out some French bread, sure.
How long does it take you to make a loaf start to finish?
3 days. 3 days.
Oh, because the sourdough has to ferment.
Right. So the night before, I refresh the starter and I get the leaven going. And then the next morning, I'll mix the dough. It'll ferment all day. I'll shape it in the evening. I'll put it in the fridge and bake in the morning. So it's over a 3-day process.
Now, do you have an old original sourdough? I do have my starter from when I first created it 6 years ago. Although in Crete, more and more they're doing, we're learning more about starters, you know, with real science, and the age of the starter doesn't really matter. You know, what flour you use seems to be the most significant. But yes, I've maintained the starter continuously for 6 years. Yep. Very nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on. This is so fun. I really appreciate it. I'm a big fan. I think it's such a cool show. And I'm gonna, you send me your address, and one of these days I'm coming to see you in Yonkers.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you, Spicy Marshall said, found your bread Instagram. Beautiful loaves. Keep up the great work. Oh yeah. Copper John said it. Ryan answered him 8 to 10. How much are your loaves? Yeah. And have you ever shipped loaves?
I sure have. Yeah. They're a little worse for wear, but these loaves are high hydration. They really have superior keeping quality. So they're fine. I send it 2-day. It's not that expensive, and it's totally fine.
Okay. Copper John.
Yeah. No, they call it sour faux. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. You got to go to a real baker. You got to go to a baker.
And Jay Henny goes, he wants some of that blueberry now.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I'll have more tomorrow. Hit me up.
So do you make like an X amount per day and sell out?
It's kind of funny, when I started this, I didn't know how to sell it. I didn't know how to market it, So I started just doing like advertising or promoting on Instagram, and people would come to my house and pick up, and I would have a window, come on Friday between 2 and 4 and pick up your bread. But it didn't work because people would come on Thursday at 6 or Friday at 9 or never at all. And then a week later, they're like, where's my bread? So it just like, what? It didn't work. So then I tried to do subscriptions, and you pay ahead and you get a bread every Friday all month. And then you'd have people who'd call you on Friday morning and be like, oh, by the way, I'm headed out of town for a month, so can you not do my bread? I'm like, well, it's right here. I just finished it. I've been working on it for 3 days. So that didn't really work either. And so what I learned for me was the best was to do the drop model, where I go to a retail location, I sell it to those people, wholesale, and they retail it. So that's kind of my model is just dropping. I drop. I do a few other things too. I'll go to, there's like a monthly festival I go to, and for my neighbors, I bake on Tuesday and things like that. But mostly it's a drop.
All right, cool. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Robert. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate it.
Okay. See you. Bye, everybody.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.